Okay, so I'm using 2020. Don't worry about that. Now, just now what did I ask about? This is the first time you guys use the software. I have a reason behind. Revit software, as you know, you can't so-called like AutoCAD. Oh, I can create in different version and my AutoCAD still able to read. AutoCAD can do that, but not Revit. So if let's say I'm using 2020, you are using 2019, 2018, file created by me for the lower version, they can't open my file, but I can read 2018, 2019. You get what I mean? Yeah. So luckily so far, important thing is I would say the test is more or less set up ready, and so does the assignment. So I got no issue on that. All right. You just need to use your software to do your assignment. Second, the difference between 18 and 19, if you do that, I mean the version, I would suggest you use 2019. It's a lot more better than 2018. And if you are using Revit 2018, at least must be 2018.3, that version. Okay? Because 2019, the graphic cards usage is a lot more better. So for those at home, they have two computer screen. You know, if I run Revit, my 2019 no need to span across the screen. I need to have only one screen. Then the drawing can just move out independently. No need to rely on the whole screen. This is the advantages. That's why I prefer you guys to at least a 2019. It's better. Okay. Right. So if okay, then we continue. Now for CE, if this is the first time you all do this, you see that your 2018 interface is different from mine. This interface is the same as 2019, 2020, 2021. Okay, yours is the traditional one, which is, but basically the naming is still the same, so need not to worry. All right. Now, first thing first, I want you guys to click new. All right. And if you click new, you see that default here, there will be series of template, which is here. Okay. So for those that you don't have, no need to worry. You can go to browse. All right. When you go to browse, it should show you where is all your file. For instance, for my case, I installed it as C. So you see Revit, Autodesk Revit 2020 templates Singapore. Okay. So what we want is this one, structural analysis default SGP English. Okay.
Share your screen because we cannot see what you're talking about.
Huh?
I mean, are you trying to show us what you're clicking or what?
Yeah.
Because we can only see your face.
Huh?
No,
See my face?
we can see this. I can see the screen.
Yeah, you should be able to see my screen. How can I see my face?
Really?
Ah,
Okay, okay.
you frighten me. Because this is the screen that I share. Yeah. So you must highlight to me if you guys can't see anything. So let me know, please. This should be the screen that I'm sharing. Am I? Hold on.
I
Let me stop sharing again. Let me go in again. Share screen. Screen 1. Can?
yes.
Okay. You frighten me, you suddenly say cannot. Okay, double check that. Let me know. That's why online, ideally, if can, you guys try to have two monitor. One is your laptop or desktop, then with additional screen. The other method is if you get a bigger screen, or I don't care whether it's a curved or big screen, maybe a 27-inch or whatsoever, then you can open two sessions side by side. One is mine, the other one is your Revit. You may want to do that. If it's one screen, it's going to be very tedious. Huh? So, yep. Anyway, I also will upload the video just for your review in case that you can't catch up. Yeah. But don't take that as an excuse, because Revit is a hands-on, right? Not theory. So you still have to hands-on and try to follow me, right? For start, of course, I'll explain. Then I'll go slow. Don't worry. How? Everyone so far okay?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, so let's start. New. Go to browse. Now, why I prefer to go to browse? Because at least you need to know where is your file location. Default, when you install your software, it should be in the C drive under program data. So if you're not aware, program data is a hidden folder. So in future, if you can't so-called allocate your library, your template, you need to look for this program data, which is you need to unhide. All right. Then you go to Autodesk. After that, you scroll down, you look for Revit RVT 2018, 19, 2020, and so on. Since I'm using 2020, so in your folder, you should have templates, libraries, and so on. Now, mine, I don't have because my hard disk space is, I got limited hard disk space. That's why I transfer all this into my other storage, which is, you see from here. When I browse it, I place them under D drive. By right, should be C drive. Huh? So, note, take note that. Can? So I'm going to select structure and open. All right. And you need to know the file format. So basically, Revit have 4 initial format, which is RVT, project format, all right, or working format. The other one is the template, RTE. This is what we call project template. The other two will be the family, Revit family. So it's RFA. Then if you are creating custom family, that is RFT. All right. Now, one or two more file extension I need to share with you. Okay. The other one is ADSK. ADSK means Autodesk, because I have CE here, which is structure. If you do structure, I would say more or less you link to civil also. So civil meaning they will need to get file from so-called data file or topo file from surveyor, so that you can excavate the land to cut and fill. So before you excavate, you got to tabulate the model, the contour, and into Revit, or some is doing calculation. Autodesk have a software called AutoCAD Civil 3D, which is able to create the accuracy of this civil topo information. So from there, they can export as ADSK into Revit for the landscape or environmental setup. So in Revit here, we use it as in the site information or under coordination, which I'll show you later on. So this is important if you're doing the complete what do you call it, full beam project. Now you are learning is only one of them, which is beam structure, the structural component itself, not the surrounding. All right. So all this, there's a lot of link, and for beam, this is important. Okay. We are learning now is a part of it. Okay. So project, I pick okay. You launch this software. Okay, so interface wise, this is what you see in 2020 Revit structure. Okay, your 18, 19 should be also similar once it's in. Now the difference here is if let's say I have two drawing, for instance. All right, you notice if I assuming I have two screen, 2019, 2020, 2021, you can drag your screen out as if like you have two different software. 2018 cannot for two screen. You need to expand your software to the other screen also. You see? So I can have this floating independently. Of course, I can still dock it back. See? So this is the beauty of 2019 onward. Okay? And of course, the adjustment here is based on your view. What I mean is the view tab, tile view, or tab view, one view. This tab view 2018 don't have it. It was only introduced 2019 onward. Yeah, so you can see the differences. I've been using Revit since day one, so I can tell you more if you want to ask me more regarding that. Okay, so for a start, what you see here, the interface that you need to at least understand. So a quick one will be, you click the file, 2018 onward, you have it there. You see the option. So go to option, which is here, right? Before you start, we got to do some basic adjustment or basic understanding. Yeah. Try to ensure that your under general tab, notification is set to no reminder for both of them. All right. Then the journal cleans up, so far no change. Work sharing updates frequency initially was more frequent. I want you to drag this to become less frequent. Okay. And the view options is important. So since we are doing Revit structure now, I want you to select these two structure. The purpose of discipline here is later when you create your floor plan, which is structure plan, your views, your elevation, it automatically go to structure discipline. So it actually make it easier for you to organize. Yeah. So far so good. If okay, give me a thumbs up. If you got questions, voice out or write at the chat group. Okay.
Sure,
Thank you.
Well, when I'm in other beam classes, I can switch that back to other stuff, right?
Sorry.
When I'm in like being MEP,
Okay.
is it still fine if I use this
You can
structural
still
mode?
change. If you're taking MEP, you still need to change. MEP provided if you are doing mechanical, electrical, or plumbing, because you are doing 3 separate projects and separate discipline. So if let's say you are doing mechanical, which is HVAC, you need to select here as mechanical. Same things applies there.
Okay.
Good, you asked that. Who teach you MEP? Aga?
It's wait,
Adjunct lecturer or BCA lecturer?
it's 20. Wait, teacher.
So To Ming. No. So Ming
Mm,
Tun, sorry. His structure and Nevis work. Chinese guy or any
um,
uh-huh.
I'm checking.
Okay. Take your time, no worries. I'm just curious who's teaching.
It's 2 MEP. Yi Ying Kang, right?
Oh, so it's a Myanmar lecturer?
No,
No.
his name is his. It was a male teacher. So
Oh.
I typed it in the
Oh.
chat.
Yi In Ken. Ken. So this name is what? Not Myanmar teacher, man? No.
I'm not sure.
Okay. Never mind. Because you is it Vietnam? I don't think so, right? Okay, never mind. I just take note. So yeah, thank you. Okay, next is your user interface, which is important. Like what? If you prefer to use shortcut. Yes, Jia Yi, you say something?
Yeah, because my computer was crashed. I don't know where is the option.
Oh, okay. You're using 2019, 18, 20, 20?
I'm using 2019.
Okay, you just go to the File tab. File. Option can only get from here. It's not like AutoCAD, they have shortcut key. Don't have. All right. So select from here, options.
Okay, thank you very much.
No problem. Just ask me. I can tell you a lot of things regarding rabbits. Okay, so I'm going to select it back to structure under the general. Then user interface, you notice that wherever the tick here means any additional command or the tab here, you don't use. Like since we are doing structure, I'm not doing MEP. So system, the tab is for MEP. If you don't need, you can just uncheck them and it will not show. You see where I click OK, it's disappear. See now. So in order to get back, go to File tab, Options, go to User Interface. All right. Then you turn it back on and you'll be there, back. See? This is for those like your screens is not so big, the resolutions, or if I just purely do structures, I don't use others, then I no need, I can off it. Yeah. So all these adjustable. All right. Okay. Other thing which is for those that if it's first time using Revit, my advice to you is under the two tips, set it to high. Default here is normal. All right. Set to high, so easy the what I call the tooltips will quickly appear to you. So easier for you to understand that way. Okay. If you're not sure also, follow my setting here on the screen. Another thing is keyboard shortcut. Yes, which is a lot of them like to use shortcut, especially when you go through AutoCAD before. For some of them, you prefer shortcut. All right. For Revit, the most popular and important shortcut is this properties, which is this thing here. You need to remember the shortcut key: PP, Control 1 or Control +1, and VP. You can type any one of the three. You call out this properties palette. All right, so you need to memorize this. So in order to have shortcut key or create shortcut key, minimum is 2 key. That means 2 character or 2 alphabet. Okay, so need not to every time come to here to activate that. If it's outside, yeah, like this, you can type KS, means keyboard shortcut. No need to enter, just type KS. Automatically, it'll come out. All right, because learning the shortcut key makes you work faster. It's easier that way, right? And of course, all this key, you can see that you can export. Another word means in future, if your PC clash and if you reinstall your Revit, you got to readjust or reconfigure your shortcut. So you can see that export and import back. Keep a copy. It's a very small text only. Okay. Now, other thing which is the graphics is important, like what you see here. For those that DEA you used before, 2018 got lesser, or 2019 lesser colors. You see, 2020 I got 6. Older versions they have only 4. You can see I have 6 here. Because 2020, 2021, you can see that you can represent structure calculations or MEP calculations with different colors to represent that because of loading and so-called movement. Like 2020, you can have for architecture, they have what they call movement control. How people walking distance within a room. Because for Revit Archi, they need to calculate for evacuation. So they need to calculate the travel distance from room to exit. It means your main door. So calculations required. For structure, calculating could be your rebar loading, your structural loading, dead load, live load. So they need all this representation. See a rebar, all are here. So you can see these two is more on that kind of thing. So, all right. Now, the background, of course, is white. Keep it that way. Then the selection and pre-selection default is blue color. So you might want to change to a different color, easier to understand. I change it because of my teaching. Yep. Alert not red color default. Is actually orange color. So you may want to change it if you want. Okay. All this is up to you because you are the user. Okay. Next one, temporary dimension. Default value is 8, change to 10. Easier to see also. Okay. All right. Hardware is more on the graphic cards, these two. So that one we can't control much, but leave it to you. Lastly, important is your file location. So you can see that if let's say your class you do more on structure or Archi or MEP, you may want to change the sequence. Let's say you do structure, you may want to say, hey, structure go up to the first one. All right, so every time you see your file on top, when you start a new project, structure will be the first one in line. All right. Other thing here, this is for system analysis workflow, which is currently we don't have anything on that, but you can add. See now, when I click this, it appear. See? Oh, workflow. To place, this is to add. Currently, we don't have that yet, so don't worry about this. Places is where your libraries files are located, so it's important. So when you install Revit, try to install more library, not just Singapore, China, or whatever, more. Because Revit is like Lego system. All the component you build actually make up from families. So families is important. Okay? So take note of that. Questions so far? So at least this is more on the interface. All right. A quick, simple adjustment. From time to time, I will still come back here. So no worries. Now, the terms here, when it says ribbon, consists of which one? The tab, the command, the panel. All right. So for those that, if you're first time using Revit, you may want to do a like understanding, oh, where is my command and so on. So some of you guys might single click by right, single click, not double click. If double click, you see that you change. See? Hear my clicking sound? Come on. A bit slow, huh? See, gone already. Double click again. It came back. So don't be alarmed. It's supposed to be single click. Then if let's say you've forgotten, you see this arrow here. You can still, based on selection, to toggle your ribbon display. So don't be alarmed. All right. The last is here, the side arrow, to see they are exactly the same. Okay. Then to quickly browsing to all your command, select somewhere in the center. Let's say maybe I click view. Don't move your mouse. All right. You know your mouse, the center button is a wheel. You scroll the wheel. You can quickly do a quick browsing to all your commands. See here? It's just that maybe for my Revit 20, I did install more things, which is it comes by default. Because it makes your Revit more complete. 18, 19 is partial. Because Autodesk does give a lot of free software when it comes with. Yeah. So 2020, they pre-install for you. Of course, for student now, you might not need that. But in future, after you graduate from BCA, yeah, then you may come to the so-called society real world to work. Then that's important. Okay, so you can see that quick browsing through all the command needed. For instance, structure, concrete, but not all steel. This is purely for steel structure. And I would say more on connection. Yep. The other thing is insert, which is structure need to collaborate drawing. So insert link Revit. Your assignment 2 need to do that, right? Annotation is where all your text and dimension. So you need to do like documentation. We need to come to here. Analyze if you're doing structural calculation. I don't think I'm the one that teaching you robot is somebody. So you got to understand this part also, right? Aki doing messing concept model. Yeah, this is the one. When you guys go to BIM Advanced, right, or BIM customization, you will learn this. Collaborate your second assignment. I'll show you that. So most likely a few more lessons from now. Yeah. View is you set your visibility, your section view, your 3D view. For Archi, you guys learn walkthrough from here, detailing, your schedule, and so on. And these two tabs are important when you are managing your view. All right. Manage here is to do your project setup. When you go to your BIM Advanced, BIM customization, this area here you need to know. All right, but project location, later we're going to do that, or we're going to use that. The rest add in quantification, mean time, not important for your class meantime. This is site designer is for landscape, prepare road, curb, cut and fill, plant tree kind of thing. You need this. This is for integration, like how you operate Revit with other software. That's why it says BIM interoperability. Of course, modify is important, which is this. We need to use it every now and then. Now, for some reason, sometime you may want to relocate your command to somewhere nearer. For instance, I like to move this beside manage. How am I going to do that? Left click. Can I drag left click? No, right? If I press a shift key, left click, cannot. Control key, left click. See, I can go. I'm gonna put somewhere here. See that? Hey, hold on. Okay, stay put already. See now, you can relocate certain function, so-called the tab, because this part here we seldom gonna use. So I put it beside, easy for me to show it to you. Okay. Precast, your 2018, I don't think you guys have it. This is to build precast. All right. I think meantime structure, some of the theory, some did mention, but I don't think we're going to do that. So no need to worry much. All right. Yeah. So important thing is modify. Okay. Okay. So remember that. Now, apart from this, the top left corner, this is your quick access toolbar, commonly used access toolbar. All right. Then on your top right corner, this is the info palette. You need to also called need help, just type from here. That's all. Your palette, your ribbon, you have your tab, you have your panel. Yeah, so structural panel. And for structure, you will see that there's a button at the panel right corner. This is what we call split dialog. If you're doing steel structure, you need to set up the connectivity, because steel don't connect directly. There's always a gap. Why? Because steel heated up will expand, not like concrete. That's why you need to have a gap. So this is where you adjust your loading. If you're doing calculation, your combination of load, which is Singapore, we might not have that, because Singapore so far no earthquake, no tornado, so we don't really care much on this. Here is to symbolize so-called those structure line work for engineer calculations. We don't need that meantime. But when you use robot, you may need to use this. Okay, so we just build model based on structural concrete. Meantime, we are learning. So here, we'll seldom come here. So you aware it's actually this button. All right. So this is for your structural steel connection. Yep. Then your foundations, your rebar area, and your custom built family model in place. I'll show you that during your course of learning. Then the rest is like how you want to cut your opening and so on, which is here. So your structure tools basically is under here. But I'll show some of the thing will become to here. So no worries. All right. This bar here is your option bar. That means if I get a command, BIM, you see something pop up. So you can do some selection and so on. Yeah. So if you press modify, it cancels away. And sometimes you happen to do a right click. You see that you're able to dock the option bar at the bottom. So don't be alarmed if it disappear. Okay, you just right click, dock at top, you go back. Okay, yeah. Then as I say, this is your properties palette. When docking the palettes and project browser, remember, it's not the palette or browser is docking, it's how you click or select from the mouse pointer. So watch carefully. You want to dock this to your left or to the right, which is some lecturer like to say, okay, your properties, you dock to the left, your browser dock to your right. There's no right or wrong. Some trainer have different kind of preference. For me, I just keep it open. That's where I want it. Yeah. So in order to dock left or right, if let's say dock to the left, your mouse pointer try to select closer to this corner. So left click, hold, drag, touches the left bar here, aside. See the pointer touch? 2018, you don't see a blue color panel. It's just a transparent frame. 1920, you see a blue panel thing. The moment you let go, it dock. So when it docked, or so dock, you notice that your visual control bar will be pushed out, which is correct. Some you might say is docked this way, but it's not. This is wrong. It's blocking. It's not right. Yeah. So same thing for this. To dock it, closer, touches it. See now, let go. Okay. So 2019, 2020, you need to adjust this. They automatically adjust both. 2018, you must manually adjust your palette and your project browser. So you can see there are a lot of different advancements from different versions. Okay. Last but not least, bottom right, bottom left, this is your status bar. It's also known as your command line. Why? If you get a command, not sure, read from here. Okay. This view here is your drawing view. So you can close, or if I close the last one, review ask me, you want to save a project now. Okay. So if you don't want, just cancel it. Okay. The last two below here, for DEA, you learn this under your advanced. This is your work sets. All right. Then this is under advanced also, design option. Okay. Now, lastly, the bottom right corner, which you see all these buttons, is similarly to here, or similar to here. This is select link. If you don't want to highlight link, you see there's an X. You go back here, it unchecked. So sometimes you are not able to select certain thing. You are not sure from here. You can double check back from here. Okay, so this is a quick introduction to the interface before we start your project. Any questions? So that we can go for a break. Anyone? No?
No, sir.
Okay, so let's go for a break. I'll stop recording.